Okay, this is an explanation for the lesson plan with technology assignment, which is worth 50 points. You can do 2 of them, and it's part of Essential Questions 2. Just to make sure you note that you do not have to teach this lesson. You can teach it. It doesn't matter to me whether you teach it or not, but it's the development and the explanation of the lesson plan that I'm looking for here. So the lesson plan will be in one of the areas of literacy: spelling and word patterns, vocabulary, writing, comprehension, or fluency, and it will follow this lesson plan outline. So one of the things that I talked about in the explanation for the lesson plan in Essential Questions 1 was this idea of the student objective, that you want to have an action verb, you want to have a criteria or degree. So to what extent do you want your students to accomplish whatever it is that you're asking them to do? Do you want 100% of your students? Do you want 80% of your students? Do you want all your students to accomplish this objective at a 70% level or a 90% level? So think about those 2 things, and then also think about the conditions. So will they be doing this in a small group? Will they be tested at the end? Will they be giving oral feedback? Will they be given written feedback? Those are all things that could be part of the conditions. The other part that's really important to me is the information about your students. So what do you know about this group of students? The very simplest information you can have is their demographic, like how many are boys, how many are girls, how many are African American, how many are Asian. Those are very simple pieces of information that you can give me, but I also want some more complicated information. What are their strengths and weaknesses in the area of literacy? What do they like to do? What do they not like to do? What do you observe about them throughout the day? When do they get excited about learning? When do they seem like they're going to just kind of fall off the edge of the desk? So those are some things that I'm going to be looking for there. Materials, procedures, and then you come to the assessment. So the assessment should match the objective very closely, and you have to have a plan for informal assessment in this lesson plan. You can include a more formal assessment, and if you're doing a writing lesson, you must include a rubric or a checklist. So at the end of the lesson plan, after you've written it, you will give a short explanation for why you've incorporated technology into this lesson. We'll be spending some time in class talking a little bit about technology and what are the advantages and disadvantages of it. So I want you to really think about the pedagogy behind the lesson that you're using and why it would be better to do this with technology. So it would be good, it's not required, but it would be good to include a concrete reference that relates to learning theory, pedagogy, or child development. Okay, then the last thing that you might find useful in doing this is the website on the TPACK framework. So if you click that in, you'll end up here at this website, and we will again spend some time in class talking about TPACK, and you can see there's 3 areas of knowledge that they're talking about: pedagogical knowledge, technological knowledge, and content knowledge. So that goes along with, what do you know about those 3 things? What do your students know about those 3 things? So where are they in the content area? Where are you in the content? Where are they in technological knowledge? Is this technology that you're using something that's new for them, something that's new for you? And the pedagogical knowledge, that's mostly your knowledge of how you're going to teach that and how these 3 things fit together. So that is something that I do expect you to write about when you're giving your explanation for why you've chosen to do this lesson. And again, this information here should be helpful to you. So while we'll go over some of it in class, it's important for you to spend a little bit of time here. Just as a final word, anytime you have questions about any lesson, remember that you can submit those questions to the website, to Moodle, and there's a forum for questions for all of the different assignments.